Hi, my name is Gaella Muyango, and I'm currently a biomedical engineering student at Wentworth Institute of Technology, and I'm applying for the Marie Jean Memorial Scholarship. I come from a household where we didn't always say much, at least not in terms of responsibility, but we always understood that when something needed to be done, you stepped in. That quiet sense of responsibility has shaped my life in more ways than one, and that's how I've always lived it, and that's how I intend to continue living it. Growing up, I didn't think of myself as someone with a gift or a talent, at least not in the way that children see it, in that flashy sense of singing or drawing or painting or dancing. However, I always knew that I could notice the gaps. I could notice when we needed something else. I could notice when a task needed to be done. I was always the kid that they said, "Wow, you look like a grown up. You act so grown." I always dealt with the things that no one else needed or wanted to deal with, and I learned early on that nothing and following through with those little things mattered to my parents and to everyone that I shared the house with. Things took a turn for my family last year. My dad lost his job, and all of a sudden that quiet responsibility became something bigger. It meant navigating financial aid forms for all of my younger siblings, helping with bills, stopping and having a gap in my educational journey, and rethinking what my college plans could look like. I no longer wanted to go to college. I also needed it for us to see a future where we didn't just live day to day or week by week. I needed to find something that could let us live long term. And at that time it dawned on me how much I was losing as well. I had to say no to opportunities I once dreamed of just to make sure I wasn't adding more strain to a household already under pressure. But instead of shrinking, I grew into the moment. I learned to be resourceful, to advocate not just for myself, but for my family, to know when to do the right thing and how to make the decision. I became the person who kept things moving when everything felt stuck. I wanted to be that person. I wanted to be the person they leaned in and against. And that same drive, that sense of duty extended beyond my home. In high school, I started a volunteer club called Interact through the Rotary system, the International Rotary system. It wasn't just about doing service hours. I wasn't asking people to come and commit 100 volunteer hours to the club. It was identifying real needs. I helped organize clothing drives for the Young Women's Coalition for young mothers in our community. Not just collecting clothes, but ensuring dignity and warmth were part of every item distributed. I sat there and listened to the stories of those young mothers, talking about how they almost resented their own kids for their experiences, and it just felt like a civic duty to help them move forward, move from that moment, move from those experiences that altered their entire lives, altered their own spirits. I also loved working with kids and children with disabilities, co-planning a festival focused on joy, not pity, where every activity was designed to be inclusive. The activity and event was named Joy Fest for that reason. And through this, we raised around $4,500 for these kids to start their college journey. Through the Science Club for Girls, I supported BIPOC girls who, like me, needed to see themselves in spaces they were told weren't for them. Each time I brought the same question: what would I need if I were in their shoes? And I think that's one of the most important things to do when you want to help your community. Help whichever part of the community you can with any resources that you can bring, whether it's time or energy, or your voice, your advocacy. All of those things matter to advance our communities. That approach followed me to college, taking extra classes, working the hardest that I can, succeeding, trying to support other people as well, so that at some point I can help the community on an even larger scale. I'm not looking to leave all of what I've learned from my past behind. My vision is to stay rooted in service while I expand my impact. As a biomedical engineer, I want to focus on neuroengineering, not just as a technical field, but as a tool for equity. I'm not interested in work that ends up locked in academic journals. I want to design solutions that are affordable, accessible, and relevant, especially for underserved communities. I think that's what all of the culminating experiences that I've had have led to. I want, at the end of the day, equity. I want everyone to be able to access the resources that they need to live and survive. That means staying connected to my roots, my values, and the people who shape them. My goal is to partner with nonprofits and community health organizations to translate research into real-world outcomes. Whether it's affordable diagnostic tools, adaptive devices for kids with disabilities, or culturally attuned therapies, I want my work to move, to reach, to matter. I may not always speak the loudest in the room, but I'm driven, I'm deliberate in the choices that I make and what I want to make out of them. And I'm not afraid to do the work that needs to be done consistently and with purpose. Thank you so much for considering my application. It is resources and help like this that helps people like me who want to make a real impact in the community do it. Without you, like the people who are helping with such scholarships, we really would not achieve much. Thank you so much.